The cost of the grandmother's surgery still falls short by Rs 350 lakh, on which I get completely cornered and then forcefully sell myself to a mysterious chem owner. But it's the first shot that really shocks me, on which he asks me to kiss a cold and arrogant flower girl Liu Ruyan and then make her completely fall in love and leave her brutally. I bow my head and look at my faded uniform, on which the clothes are so washed that the color has blown away. There is humiliation, but then I think that I will be able to save my grandmother. So what does all this matter? And then I do my teeth and accept this deal. After this, as soon as I officially start this chess, that cold campus queen Liu Ruyan gradually starts behaving even more strangely. The situation looks even more grim. Inside a high-class apartment that I can't even see, Liu Ruyan stands in front of a phone with a modified voice and screams angrily, "Are you an idiot? Who told you to fight? Go now and bring that street corner strawberry filling cake that takes 3 hours in line. Go right away and then move on." I finally realize that the person who bought me with money is none other than Liu Ruyan, who looks like a cold and untouchable queen on the outside. But there is also the same clingy girl from inside who can't stay away from me. At this moment, I am sitting in a corner in the library of Jiangqing University. By pressing my hand on stomach, I try to reduce the problem of hunger a little, because I just ate a cheap bun this afternoon to save money for the next month. I force myself to focus on the advanced algorithm discussion going on because I feel that code alone does not do the battery, and scholarship is the most real thing. All of a sudden my phone started ringing, on which my fingers stop and the message of Cam Honor appears on the screen. I nonchalantly raise my head and scan the quiet library all around, where every student is immersed in his books and there is only the sound of turning pages and a slight cough. Look in the direction of 2:00 p.m. Do you see the girl in the white sweater? To whom I turn my gaze in the same direction and see a long-haired girl sitting in a premium white wolf sweater. His collarbone is looking light and the sunlight is putting a soft glow on it. It's Liu Ruyan, pride of the famous campus queen finance department of Jiangxi University, which is said to have a very powerful and rich family background. My throat moves a little and I type quickly. It's Liu Ruyan who gets the reply, "I know your mission begins now." I feel a little uneasy reading this, because 2 years ago when he sponsored me, he said that this money is not free and sometimes I have to repay, but this is the first time he is doing so officially. I'll reply, "Don't say murder or illegal work." "I won't do that," to which he replies, "Why will I make you do legal work? All I want is a refund." Then he further writes that he has played with my feelings. "You hug him, make him love you deeply and then leave him like trash." My eyes go wide with shock after reading this, and I think this plan is very extreme. Then I'll reply, "Are you choosing the wrong person? She is the campus queen and I am a poor boy who thinks even before taking food in the canteen." To which he says, "You are the campus king. I've seen your photos. Your face is fine and nowadays girls like a simple look like you. Don't talk too much now. Go and drop the water from his table." The phone in my hand starts to get wet with sweat because doing so in a place like a library is like public accommodation. But then a message comes that 7 lakh has been credited to the account. This is today's budget just for an accident. Then he writes further, "And yes, there is still a shortfall of 10 lakhs in your grandmother's next month's hospital bill." Isn't. As soon as I read this, my eyes shrink because he knows every detail of me, which makes me feel like someone is monitoring me all the time and my reels go cold. I stand up for my grandmother, pick up my cup and make an excuse to take the water, on which I pass by Liu Ruyan's table. 1 step, 2 steps, and the distance gradually decreases and I also start feeling its light fragrance. There is a pink thermos placed on his table with the lid open and steam coming out of it. And then at that very moment, I deliberately tilt my body and hit that thermos with my elbow. The thump causes the thermos to fall and the hot water spreads around, which does not fall on Liu Ruyan, but completely soaks his books, at which Liu Ruyan stands slightly surprised, and all the people around look at us, as if the spotlight has fallen. My face gets hot as a burn, and I quickly take out some tissues and speak with a stutter, sorry, I didn't consciously. I don't dare to look into his eyes and feel so bad that I am harassing a girl for money." Ryan doesn't say anything. Just keep quiet, but its pressure is so intense that the atmosphere becomes heavy. I remember that his temper is said to be very bad and whoever offends him, his end is not good. Then she finally says, "Don't you see when you walk?" To which I lean further and quickly clean the water and say, "Sorry, how much is this book?" "I'll pay. I don't have money, but I can write." Laren looks at this guy in front of her who looks very insecure and poor, and his eyes fall on my faded t-shirt collar and tension-strewn neck. But in fact, at the same time, he has a second phone in his hand showing the same last message that he sent me, and this cold queen who looks like work from outside is screaming like crazy inside. In fact, this stupid boy turns out to be very strong and surprisingly so gentle, on which Liu Ruyan wants to secretly cherish her inside, but as soon as she sees it, her ears turn red. She stops herself, looking absolutely cute like a shrimp, on which he says to himself in his mind, "Stop, Larian, you have to keep control. You're a cold goddess now, you don't have to laugh, you have to maintain your image." She then takes a deep breath and adjusts the micro-expressions of her face. There are 3 parts of contentment, 3 parts of helplessness, and 4 parts of indifference in his eyes. And then she lightly presses my hand with her thin finger that I am cleaning the table, at which I step back as if I have been electrocuted and suddenly raise my head and look into his eyes. For the first time, our eyes meet from such a close distance. She looks at me and says there is no need. There is only one book, and as soon as I try to say something else, it stops me in the middle. I said there is no need, be careful the next time, and then she says my name. Student Gutchechen, on which I freeze right there because I wonder how he knows my name. But before I could react, Liu Ruyan picked up her things and left behind a dizzy backview and the gossiping voices of the students around her. Oh, isn't that cool? How can the IT department be so careless? He dropped water on the campus queen. I'm standing right there. I still have wet tissues tightly in my hand, and the feeling of guilt slowly fills me because she not only does not get angry but also does not ask me for compensation. Kimona had described her as a bad girl, but I find her quite decent, which increases my confusion. Just then the phone in my pocket suddenly vibrates loudly and I immediately take it out and look at it. The message is "Good work. Did you see his expression?" It was all fake acting that he writes about further. You think she's generous, she's just maintaining her image. Don't be fooled by his outward appearance in front of the entire campus. The first step has been completed, now listen to the next instruction. I look at the stairway where Liu Ruyan has just gone and then I see those cold words on the phone screen. My fingers tremble a little. I replied slowly, "Couldn't there be another way? I don't think it's that bad." The response is immediate, "What do you know? And you know what he did to me? Stop the shit. Don't you want to pay your debt? Don't you want to save your grandmother?" Hearing this, those words directly hit my weakness, on which I lower my eyes and my hands loose and fall to the side. On the other side, at the library stair corner, Liu Ruyan leans against the wall and looks at my depressed figure in the distance. A faint smile appears on his lips. This is just the beginning, he's thinking about himself. The next day in the afternoon, I sit with a tree in the cafet area of Jiangxin University. As usual, there are 2 vegetarian dishes and some rice. There is also a free soup. As soon as I sit in a corner, my phone vibrates again, and this time also there is a message from Kim Honor. Go immediately to the pastry shop. Buy a strawberry Napoleon cake and give it to Liu Ruyan on window table number 3. I almost lose my teeth reading this because that shop happens to be the most expansive bakery on campus, where even a small cake comes in 100s and strawberry Napoleon is their signature item. It is priced at Rs3 lakh. I reply, "This is my money for the entire week's food and I am in the cafet area right now." The message is sent immediately. 150,000 has been transferred to the account. Understand the rest of your advice. Hurry up, he'll be gone in 10 minutes. If you miss it, you will have to double back. I look at the transaction message and exhale a deep breath. It's not a love affair. It looks like a pay-to-win game. I leave the food and immediately get up and run towards the bakery. And by the time I reach the cafe area, my hair is drenched in sweat. I stand at the entrance and look for table number 3, where Louis Ruan is sitting. Even in the midst of the crowd, she is shining as if there is aura around her. There is very little food in front of her, and she is just eating some salad, and there is a whale-dressed rich boy sitting in front of her whose name is Shukai, who is her persistent pursuer. At this time he moves the milk tea forward while buttering it and talks in a fluttering tone. My steps stop there because I think that going into such a situation is to get myself insulated. And then the message arrives on the phone. Saw that, Shukai? It's just a stepping stone. Put the cake directly on the table and let it cool. I look at the phone in doubt if Kim Honor has a tracker on me because she knows everything. But I take a deep breath. I hold the cake box and move towards them with confident steps. He is still speaking. "Ruyan, you must come to this weekend yard party. I've told everyone." But the Liu Ruyan board is lost somewhere else with the expression, as if you are waiting for someone and the mind itself thinks why that idiot has not come yet. Just then a tall figure casts a shadow on their table and a box of pinks is placed on the table. Shukai's speech stops in the middle and he looks up irritated. Who is it? But as soon as he recognizes me, he laughs. "Oh, it's so peaceful. What's the matter? You have also come to pursue the campus queen." He looks at the cake box and laughs. "What's in it? No cake on the side of the road." Nearby students also stop eating and watch this scene. It's like a drama going on. But I ignore him and look straight into Liu Ruyan's eyes. And he's looking at me. A light shines in his eyes, but the face is still cold. According to Kim Honor's script, now I have to speak the dialogue. My throat is dry, and I'll stop for a moment. "This strawberry Napoleon cake is for you," to which he laughs out loud. "Strawberry Napoleon cake, Gutchen, is the pocket money of a poor like you enough to buy it. Didn't you take it anywhere?" to which Shukai speaks even more mockingly, and everyone knows that Liu Ruyan dislikes sweets the most. Thanks, these two cold words suddenly come out cutting the air, on which all the laughter of Shukai freezes there, and the surrounding atmosphere becomes completely silent for a moment. Then Lu Rien casually talks about feeling a little low sugar today, and she opens the packaging in front of everyone, on which that delicate strawberry Napoleon cake is clearly visible. She picks up a strawberry piece with a fork and puts it in her mouth. With her red lips and white teeth, that juicy strawberry looks even more attractive, on which the boys around unknowingly keep following their throats. The test isn't bad either. She talks about work and then looks at me. You specially went to pick it up, on which I am completely stunned, and not only me, even Shukai is shocked because Liu Ruyan is famous in the whole campus that she does not accept gifts. I slowly nodded my head. I noticed that you don't eat much at lunch. These words come out of my mouth, at which Liu Ruyan's hand stops slightly and she looks into my eyes, where the genuine concern is clearly visible and the game going on in his heart starts to become a little unstable. She thinks in her mind, this boy also observes in detail. Then she puts the faucet down and pulls out a mail card from her bag and slides it towards me. I don't like anyone. Swipe as much as you want from me today's mile, to which I am terrified. No, I have eaten. Your friend asked me to bring you a cake. As I say this, I realize my mistake. Shit, Liu Ruyan raises eyebrows. Friend, to whom I immediately shake hands in a panic. I mean, I thought you'd like it. I have to go to class, and by saying this, I quickly run away from there. The sound of laughter resounds in the cafe area behind me, and Shakai laughs contemptuously when he sees me. There are villages. I can't even speak properly, and such people also fall behind the campus queen, on which Liu Ruyan stops her in a cold tone. I don't like flies around me when I'm free. Her face flushed with anger when she heard this. Be a revenge. In a word, Liu Ruyan dismisses her and then continues to eat the cake comfortably, at which Sukai gets angry. He looks at her and leaves without eating. Here I hide near a flower bed away from the cafeteria, and then the phone rings again. The message arrives. Have you seen his face? Had fun. There is a potential within you. I take a deep breath and lean against the tree. He took the cake. I thought he was going to shove it in my face. The answer comes. Obvious is, I don't know who is guiding, but don't be too happy. He just didn't dislike you. Now we have to increase the intensity. Jogging in the stadium tonight at 8:00 p.m. wearing nice clothes. Don't wear a t-shirt. I'm sending sportswear to the dorm manager. Confused, I ask why jog at night, to which the reply comes because Liu Ruyan jogs every day at 8:00. This is the best opportunity to show your talent. Remember, we need an accidental encounter and a killer attraction. I look at my phone and smile. But I don't know that at the same time Liu Ruyan at Cafe Uria is placing orders on the phone while testing the cream of the cake. She looks at the screen with a slight smile. That old Gutchin t-shirt of yours was already irritating me. The abs are visible. Okay, but appearance also matters. Then she looks at the bright sunlight outside and realizes that her boring college life is now starting to get interesting. It's like a trap, but who will be the victim in the end? That's not yet clear. In the evening at the West Stadium, a popular love spot on campus, dim yellow lights fall on the track and couples talk quietly in the darkness of the stands. At 7:50 I stand at the entrance wearing the new sportswear. He felt like a model, but I feel it inside. Then the phone rings. Go inside, she's warming up on track 3. Keep the poser handy, it should be intense. I take a deep breath and go inside, and at a glance I recognize Liu Ruyan among the crowd. She is seen in a light purple sports outfit. The hair tied in a ponytail and its slim neck is clearly visible. She is stretching. His body is in perfect shape. Around him some boys warm up, but no one dares to approach him, and then the message arrives. I thought I'd send you some water, but it was too. We need a high-level strategy. I ask how. The answer comes when he starts running. Maintain a distance of 2 meters behind it. Don't talk, just let him hear your deep and steady breathing. This is called auditory inhibition. After reading this, I'm a little freaked out. Who is this crow? But for the treatment of grandmother, I cannot refuse. Whatever needs to be done. Liu Ryan begins to run. His pace is steady. The ponytail moves in rhythm, on which I also come on the quietly track and take a position like a shadow behind it. A distance of 2 meters is ideal. It does not feel too hot and its fragrance is also felt. I adjust my breathing. I make deep and steady, while Liu Ryan ahead keeps running without turning back. But the corners of his lips fly off lightly. He seems to be enjoying it all. In fact, the moment he steps into the stadium, my eyes are locked on him. I'm just watching him. This outfit suits the neon on which her broad shoulders and slim vest are even more highlighted. At first I didn't notice that this idiot has such a good body structure. He is silent and doesn't say anything. Is it playing the game of staying behind like a shadow? I'm laughing on the inside. This fourth young lady has been the champion of City High School long-distance running, at which a bright spark suddenly appears in La Yunuyan's eyes. After that, the speed suddenly increases. I paused for a moment to watch it. I immediately ran after him. My stamina is built by the hard work of the construction site, at which this level of speed up means nothing to me. 1 lap, 2 lap, 3 lap beginner's slow jog is now a pure speed race, at which the speed of Lu Nu Yen increases continuously and the surrounding view blurs and starts changing colors. Just then the voice of the boss echoes in the earphones, hearing that she is provoking me that if Kothan is a man, he cannot lose. To which she says cross him and crush him at your own speed. When you come out from him, turn back and give him such a look that he is slow. Hearing this, a fire started in my heart, on which I find it embarrassing to be behind a girl and really feel a little embarrassing. Then I make a slight murmur to which my feet suddenly exert force and the running shoes fall hard on the track making a heavy sound and my whole body shoots forward like an arrow. The wind whistles near the ears on which the Lu Nuan is running with full energy. Suddenly, a gust of wind blows past him and the black shadow quickly crosses over, on which as soon as I pass by him, I turn my head slightly. The challenge and the argument are clearly visible in my eyes and a faint mischievous smile appears on my lips. This was the contemptuous look of the boss's script, but with the effect of intense running it turns into a wild aggressive charm. Seeing this, Leo Nuan's heart skips for a moment and she thinks that Damon is a little bit handsome. However, it only lasts for 0.1 seconds. Then his anger turned into rage, on which she is afraid of teeth and increases the speed with her long legs. Ponytail makes a perfect arc in the air and she keeps chirping like a shadow behind me. Then a strange scene takes place in the West Stadium tonight, where Cold Beauty Leo Nyan and Poor Genius Ko then both run like crazy on the track. It's like life and death. I don't know how many laps they run. By the time the lungs start burning and the legs become heavy and lead-like. After that, the speed gradually decreases, at which I stop on my knees and stand under the street lights near the grass. A loud banging sound comes from behind. The distance is about 3 km. She bends down and takes a deep breath. Her cheeks turn red and her chest rises and falls rapidly. They both stared at each other. Vision becomes blurred by sweat, but the sparkles in the eyes continue to shine. Lu Nuan then tries to maintain dignity while holding her breath and says that is there a plan to die by running so fast, on which I wipe the sweat of my face. I get so tired in that moment that I even forget the script of the boss and casually say that you had increased the speed earlier, to which I say that the leg is not so long yet you run well. As soon as I say this, I regret that I insinuated it by saying short legs. Hearing this, Leo Noon widens her eyes in shock and starts laughing angrily, then takes a step forward and asks if I'm blind. As she gets closer, her strong fragrance hits me again, on which I instinctively take a half step back and hit the cool street light pole. Then the boss's message comes, after listening to which even if I die, cold mineral water has to be brought for him from the vending machine and only that has to be given. Seeing this, I think the boss is watching the live stream. The timing is also perfect, on which I go to the vending machine without arguing. After a few seconds, I return with 2 bottles of cold water. But instead of giving it softly, I follow the instructions and throw it straight while standing 2 meters away. Lu catches her in the neon reflex and creates a strange sensation as the cold bottle falls into his hot hand. Then I open my bottle and drink water at once with my head back. The water flows from my lips to the neck and reaches the collar bone. Seeing this, Leo Nu gets a not spark in her eyes and she suddenly asks what is the Kothan, to which I am shocked by the water. She comes to me from her long legs and says that this outfit is good and this is Naki's new season set which is worth more than 10 million. It warms my heart to hear that now Raj has opened up, to which she lightly taps on my chest and says that till yesterday I was thinking while ordering food in the canteen and today I am wearing expensive clothes. Her gaze becomes suspenseful and she asks if the lottery has been won or sponsored by someone. Hearing this, my heart almost goes out because somehow it gets closer to the right gas, to which I quickly brainstorm and say it's fake. Buy online. Available for just $350 and free shipping. Hearing this, Leo Nu Yen laughs loudly. His cold aura breaks and his playful side comes to the fore. Then she jokingly says send the link if it's so cheap, to which I compulsorily say that the shop has been closed. Hearing this, she is happy to see my occurred expression. Then opening the bottle, elegantly takes a sip and comes closer and gently whispers in my ear that the scammer and then immediately turns around and leaves. Her ponytail makes a smooth arc in the air and as she goes she says that then meet the fraud classmate. I'm standing under the street lights. The body stiffens and the warmth of his words still lingers in the ears, radiating an electric sensation. That's when the phone vibrates again, to which the boss says that she called me a scammer, which means she has now become curious and women often start love from curiosity. On which today's mission is successfully completed. Then the boss's message comes that go and sleep early. There's still one more battle to go tomorrow, but I keep looking at Liu Nguyen's bag and then I look at the phone screen and suddenly I feel a strange illusion. Now when Lan Nyan comes near my ear and says scammer, why does her tone sound exactly the same as the boss scolding me as an idiot, on which the doubt keeps arising in my mind? If the earlier interaction seemed like a romantic idol drama with full pink bubbles, what's to come next is a real horror movie as unadulterated. At 11:00 p.m. On a Friday night, I finish my night shift at the convenience store and head back to the hostel. All of a sudden, the phone in my pocket rings. It's a special mission. Leo is near the late-night barbecue shop on Nguyen Bag Street and the boss says I have to go and pick him up immediately. Hearing this, I scratch my eyebrows because curfew time is near and what is she doing there alone? To which the boss says that she is in a bad mood and she wants to eat the cold noodles of that shop and do not ask more questions. The location has been sent. Then she warns that something is going to happen today and she has to protect it well. If anything happens to even one of his hair, I will be held accountable. I see the location which is less than 500 meters away. But the security situation is not good. Where goons often roam, on which an instinctive energy comes in me and without thinking I take a bicycle and pedal fast. At the same time in a dark alley 2 blocks away from the store, Leo Nyan is actually there but not to eat but to block the way and surround him. There are no romantic food stalls. Just 3 runk goons and a build man in a floral shirt with a sinister look on his face recognize and look at Liu Nguyen. He stares at her while playing with the lighter and says that he has been waiting at the school gate for 3 days and asks if Rich can go with the guys, why can't she have a drink with them? The lantern rests against a cold wall. A sheet of paper is held in his hand. Fingers go white because today she is really unlucky and just went out to get fresh air without a car on which these people target her. She says in a cold tone that get away and tells that she has called the police. But the barred man laughs and says that this area is the camera blind spot. Everything will be over before the police arrive. As he said this, he reached out and tried to grab her arm, on which Leo Nyan's eyes become sharp and she tries to spray. But the man is experienced and drops the spray by hitting his hand which falls into the drain far away. Then he comes closer and laughs and says that he likes such a fiery attitude. Suddenly there is a loud noise and an old mountain bike comes at full speed and hits the belted man's vest. At which he screams loudly and falls forward and falls on his face on the ground. The other 3 goons come out half drunk and in the darkness I throw my broken cycle aside and stand slowly. On which my lean body feels weak in the air, but my eyes are cold as a lone wolf. Then I say in a slow but cool voice, shake a little, at which the bald man raises his face full of blood, takes out a knife in anger and tells his men to attack. All 3 goons simultaneously break down on me and the next 2 minutes become the longest for Leo Nyan. I don't know any martial arts. I only fight in street fighting style without caring for my life. On which I save one punch and punch hard on the nose of the one in front and kick the other. But in the end, how does a single person win over more people and they also have a weapon? In this chaos, the belted man makes a sneak attack from the side. The blade of the knife shines, to which Liu Nyan shouts careful, but I don't listen to her because she's behind me. I also twist the body by doing the teeth and block the attack with the left arm, on which the knife cuts my skin and starts bleeding with a sharp sound that turns my white sleeve red. I press the pain but don't stop and seeing the opportunity I headbutt the bald man's face on which his blood splatters and he stumbles back. I also feel dizzy and my forehead bleeds. A police siren is heard in the distance. The goons get scared and start running away. They threaten to meet again. The street becomes quiet again on which my body stumbles and I sit down tucked against the wall and blood drips from my arm and keeps falling to the ground. Seeing this, Lan runs and sits on her knees in front of me. Panic and fear are evident for the first time in his eyes. She says in a trembling voice that I am bleeding a lot and quickly tries to remove the tissue and press the wand. But his hands tremble with fear. I say with a wicked smile, don't cry. It's just a small cut and I instinctively raise my hand to wipe her tears. But I stop when I see my hands full of dirty blood. Seeing this, she cries out in anger and pain, am I stupid? Why didn't you do it then? On which tears fall from his eyes and fall on my hand which shakes me to the core. Then I gently say that if I doze it would hit him and my voice weakens. On hearing this, Luo Nguyen becomes very silent. Her heart beats louder because in this fake world where people come to her for money, beauty, chic. For the first time someone really stands up for him, it's just stupid. Who stands in front of him by putting his life on the price for just 7 million mission fee, in which this deal becomes a huge loss for him. Liu Nyan snorts lightly and tries to control her emotions. And then he says, hold my hand, I'll take you to the hospital. I get up and refuse to go to the hospital. He is very expressive. I will go to the hostel and apply antiseptic. The forest is not deep, stitching is not required. On which for the first time the dominating side of Leo Nyan comes out and she says in a strong voice that keep quiet. I said I had to go to the hospital. I will give the details. I will also give my consent. And if I say one more word, I'll cry right here. I look towards his face. The makeup is a little smudged, but it looks real. At which I suddenly feel even less pain. As if some force is controlling me and I shake my head slightly that it is okay, I accept your point. Then Lu Nyan escorted me out of the street and stopped a taxi, on which my consciousness starts blurring a bit during the ride and she gently puts my head on her shoulder. Her movements are very gentle as if she is handling a treasure. Then she gently whispers in my ear that only she can sacrifice me. There's nobody else. When I wake up, I feel as if I have come to heaven with a white ceiling in front of me and I am not lying on a hard iron bed but on a soft memory foam bed. I'm moving my fingers on which there is a slight pain in the left arm which reminds me that I am still alive. Just then the cold voice of Liu Nguyen comes from the side and flies away, to which I turn my head and see him sitting on the sofa as soon as I focus. He changed his clothes. Yesterday's blood-stand sports outfit is missing and in its place is a black silk shirt that makes it more classy. She is peeling an apple with a knife in her hand, on which his pose is like making an art. But the result is deplorable. The shape of the apple has deteriorated and looks uneven cut. I try to say something. But the mouth is dry, on which the Lannan immediately rises. She comes to me with warm water and says, "Drink water first, don't say anything." I try to take it on myself, but she refuses and says, "Don't move your hand. It is currently being set up. Open the mouth." I drink water by obeying him. Gradually my conscience began to clear. And then I ask myself, what is this place? Looking around, I see a flat-screen TV and a luxury setup, and outside the window is a river view that does not look like a hospital. To which Liu Nguyen casually says that this is the private VIP ward of Harmony Private Hospital. There are no public hospitals. Hearing this, my heart stops for a moment because this place is very expansive and the cost of one night is also very high. To which I haggardly say that I have insurance. Normal hospital will be fine, but he tells her to keep quiet. I have already paid Rs 700 crore. If there is less, I will give more, and if it is about money, I will get a thick needle from the nurse. Hearing this, I immediately fell silent. I've never seen so much money in my life, and this is the world of the rich. An eerie silence pervades the room. There is only the sound of an apple being cut, and then my phone rings. On which I instantly understand that there is a message from the boss. I look up to Leon Noon, who is still at Apple, on which I gently pick up the phone and unlock it inside the blanket. The message comes whether he is alive or not, to which my hands tremble slightly and I reply that I am in the hospital. The boss then asks what Leonian is doing. He never left me. I look at him silently. She is trying to give Apple a made-up look with full focus, on which the boss's message keeps coming that she only closes the show. She'll be taking selfies or using her phone. I see him. There are small drops of sweat on her nose and she is working so hard that I start laughing. That's when Liu Nguyen finally completes her masterpiece and comes in front of me with a plate. She has a proud expression on her face as if waiting for the compliment and says that Kao has made for the first time. It looks bad, but it's a test. I look at those wired-shaped apple pieces and there is a warm feeling inside. And then I say thank you to him. She looked at me and asked how I was. To which I once-ly say that it is very sweet and a light smile comes on his lips. But his phone is ringing. She looks at the screen and her expression instantly darkens and she speaks angrily softly that idiots. I ask what happened. To which she hesitates for a while and turns the phone towards me and says, "See for yourself, you have become famous." It is the official forum of Jiangsu University. At the top of the page is a post that reads, "Poor student and campus beauty Lu Nyan injured in late-night incident. Is this a hero saving beauty or a trap?" And there are also some blurry photos attached which are clearly clicked secretly by a passerby. In the first photo, it is clearly visible that I am running in front of the convenience store pedaling the bicycle at full speed, on which my back is visible. In the second photo, Liu is carrying me down the hospital gate with a bloodied support. The third photo is the most viral, in which Liu Nguyen stands outside the emergency room. Her eyes are red and she appears to be exploding in anger. The comments section below is filled with thousands of responses. It's like an online war going on. Someone says that the Kothan cannot even afford meat in the canteen. Then how does it defeat the knifed robber? This combat power is unrealistic. To which the other says that it is not a hero saving beauty but its own drama. The entire setup has been created by Kodhin himself. Such coherence is not possible. Then some people say that a poor man can do anything for the status, on which someone compares that on one side there is rich beauty and on the other side poor genius. If the two become a couple, 30 years of struggle will be saved. This is the soft rice life. Reading all this, my eyebrows get tight because I am being targeted as Phoenix Man and Cheap Trick. Just then Leo Nyan suddenly snatches the phone and says that don't look, these people are just sitting free. There is no work. From the top it looks like work. But inside he's absolutely furious. To which she thought, how dare my man speak Phoenixman. Then she stands up and says I am going to the washroom and goes inside and locks the door. Then immediately takes out your backup phone and switches to another account. Her fingers type so fast that as soon as the after image appears, she starts replying in the comments that the rumor mongers will face legal action. She angrily writes that Cawthon has 8 stitches in his arm. There could have been nerve damage, and those who are cowards themselves doubt the bravado of others. Then she says that if a rich girl wants to support someone, what happens to others? This is life-threatening. There is no deal. Even after writing so much, his anger does not calm down. On which she opens WeChat and finds a contact whose name is Professional Opinion Controller and transfers 175 million to him. The immediate response from the front is to whom the boss is to promote today, to which she gives a clear order to suppress all the negative comments against Ko then on the Jiangchang University forum and fill it with only positive press. After arranging everything, she looks at herself in the mirror and breathes a sigh of relief. Then she says with a slight smile that look how much I am doing for you. After this, she brings back her cold expression and comes out. When she comes back to the bed, she sees that I am sitting lost staring at the phone. What happened? She asked. I say with a strange expression that the mood of the forum has suddenly changed, which he comes to look at. Now the comments section has completely changed, where people are writing how handsome Cawthon is. His broken yet strong vibe is amazing and he's a real man, much better than rich spoiled boys. Someone writes that he sees the stars even in the dark and protects his girl. It's a real life story. Seeing all this, I am surprised and say that it has not become a little more. To which Leo Nyan stops laughing and says seriously that this is just the right judgment of the people. Justice is always in the hearts of people. I look at his face. He doesn't know anything. And a strange thought comes to my mind that why the boss did not reply yet and how the public opinion changed as soon as Leo Nguyen went to the washroom. But I immediately remove this thought because the boss is a man and hates Liu Nyan. Both cannot be on the same side. Just then Liu Nguyen suddenly says that the doctor has said that I have to be under observation for 2 more days and she will take care of me in these 2 days. I don't have to go to work. He will manage it. I try to speak something that the boss's mission is still pending. But she stops midway and says that right now my job is only to recover. His tone is exactly like the boss, to which I nod my head without thinking. That's when I get a new message from the boss on my phone that now that the public is considering me a hero, take advantage of this momentum and take Lanian's guilt to the peak. 3 days later, I'm out. There is still a bandage on the arm, but I used to be disturbed by the royal treatment where everything was being served to me. Lanian arranges expansive meals for me every day, which makes me feel even more forward. When I come back to the hostel, my roommates look at me with admiration and jokingly say, "Become rich, don't forget us," and ask if Leo Nyan really cut an apple for me and if his peels can be auctioned. I always handle their talk and go to bed and close the curtain. Then I take out the phone and call the boss because Leon was watching me so closely in the hospital that I did not get a chance to report. The call connects, and from the other side comes the heavy male voice of the boss, to which I tell that I have been discharged. He says calmly that he has seen everything and I have done a good job, and this sapphire trick is old but effective on an emotionally empty woman like Lion. Then he asks if he's completely in control of me now, to which I frown a little because I don't like this trick word. I honestly say that I really wanted to save her that night. There was no calculation, and he is not what the boss thinks because he has taken care of me a lot in the hospital and he is really kind. There is silence on the other side for 3 seconds. At this time, in a single luxurious room of the girls' hostel, Liu Ruyan lies upside down on her bed and hugs with her heart a joint teddy bear that she recently bought. A slight smile tugs at the corners of his mouth as he listens, on which she takes a roll on the bed in excitement and thinks that there is still a little humanity left in her. In vain, this Missy did not serve him tea and water. The next moment, he remembers his identity. He is a Kimchu and the same creditor that Liu Ruyan had previously hurt. After this, a cold laugh is heard from the earphone. Liangshan Guochen, have you lost your mind? It's just his performance. She is satisfying her inner moral superiority by taking care of you, on which Kimchu's voice becomes even colder. Are you soft for him? Answer it. Hearing this, the hand that holds my phone tightens. I'm not. I give up immediately, but I don't have a voice. I just feel like, did we get him wrong? Perhaps the year on which Kimchu stops in the middle in anger. There is no misrepresentation. Remember your identity. You give me a life. Now I want you to prove your loyalty. I take a deep breath. What do you want me to do? Kim Chu then says that there is going to be a charity auction party at Jiangjanek University this weekend. Liu Ryan will be putting his most prized possessions up for auction as the art head of the student council, where he stops for a while and his tone gets even darker. I want you to go there as his companion. Then whatever item he takes out during the auction, you will call it fake in front of everyone. I want you to crush his reputation in front of the entire elite crowd without any messy. My eyes teared up when I heard this. It's too much. I immediately refused. It's a charity event, and if it's really his favorite thing to do, it'll ruin his reputation. On which Kim Chu's voice changes. You feel pity for him. Don't forget this. Next month, your grandmother's imported medicine is still stuck in customs, and only I can get it out. It's a clean sweep. My breathing quickens. On one side is Kim Chu's grace and my grandmother's life, and on the other side is the girl who used to take care of me near the hospital bed in an occurred way. After this, I also do teeth and say, give me another task. I can kill him 100 times in the game, I can make it, I can work hard, but I wouldn't do it in front of a girl. The call suddenly gets disconnected. I keep looking at the black screen and the irritation inside keeps increasing. Then I put the phone to the side. I lay on the bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. Liu Ruyan, on the other hand, angrily throws away the phone and suddenly gets up and sits down. This is the Sturban idiom. She takes out her anger by holding the teddy bear. I am giving you an opportunity to create a strong image through struggle. But you are not acting according to the script, so how do I take the next step? But as soon as his anger subsides, a strange sweetness begins to fill his heart. He's protecting me. Despite Kim Chu's threat, despite Hugh's date, he chooses to save my dignity. On which Liu Ruyan puts Teddy on his chest and softly rests his head on his fur and his eyes become dreamy. Gutchin, if you're like that, how can I really play with you? She then takes a deep breath and picks up the phone again. If you don't act yourself, I'll kill you. The next day in the library, I am finishing my painting assignments. Suddenly a shadow falls in front of me. When does Liu Ruyan come and stand? I don't know it. I look up. Why you have come here? On which she takes out a golden invitation card from her bag and puts it in front of me. There is a charity auction party on Saturday night. I need a companion. You're free. I look at the invitation and remember Kim Chu's warning. If I don't go, grandmother's medicine can really stop, and if I go, I'll have to do that cruel task. After a bit of haggling, I'll say I don't have formal clothes and I am not suited for such events. To which she casually says, clothes I have prepared. Then she put her hand on my shoulder and looked at me. Gotchin, you saved me, and now rumors are spreading about us all over campus. If you don't come, people will think I am ungrateful. This region is so strong that I can't say anything. Looking at his hopeful eyes, I finally agree. Okay, I'll be there, but inside I swear I'll be there invisibly. No matter what Kim Chu says, I won't insinuate him, I will not borrow more money, I will donate blood, I will do more work. To which Liu Ryan's eyes are instantly filled with joy, so I'll be waiting for you under the dorm at 5:00 p.m. on Saturday. As she says this, she gets up and leaves, but after a few steps it stops. The back turns to me and says, yes, that day I will auction a painting in which I have drawn a very important person. Support me at that time. I look at her bag and my heart stops beating for a moment. Who is that person, Kim Chu or Wajikai? As I think about it, a strange feeling comes over me. But I didn't know that on the way out of the library, Liu Ryan hid behind a pillar and immediately sent a message. If you can't change it, change it. No matter how much the painting goes for an onyx, you have to buy it at all costs. Even if it is fake money, it should not be used. Sending a message, she cleverly smiles and puts down the phone. That's what he is thinking about. A picture was taken that night, when he was running under the street light. If that idiot wins and buys it, I will die of shame. Gutchin, this hard mode you have chosen yourself. She keeps humming with light steps, and I am completely confused after getting new instructions in the library. To buy the painting. In such charity auctions, the starting price itself is in lakhs and sometimes reaches crores. Even if I am sold, there will not be so much value, at which I lean on the table and take out a helpless cream. In the Jiangcheng Hotel, the light of crystal cloud spreads all around and the whole hall is so bright that the eyes get dazzled. At this moment, I feel as if I have entered the Swan Lake as an ugly duckling, on which big lots of Jiangchenak stand all around. And every time a man walks past me with a glass of wine, his eyes are like he's putting a price on a product. On which the phone in my pocket vibrates and the message comes, listen, tonight's main character is Liu Ruyan. But today's hunter is you. The auction is about to start, and no matter what item Liu Ruyan puts, he will definitely compete with you. You only have one mission. In any case, you have to put more beds than that and do not let Zikai win at any cost. As I read this, I stare at the screen and my fingers turn white. Boss, are you kidding me? The starting price is in lakhs and I have only RS7 lakh on my card. How am I going to sleep? The answer to which comes by putting your life. Just have the courage to lift the board. I will arrange the money. But if Zika wins, your grandmother's medicine will stop tomorrow. Decide for yourself now. Hearing this, I take a deep breath and put the phone in my pocket. Like something gets stuck in the throat and this suffocation starts driving me crazy. At which the voice of the host echoes from the stage. Dear guests, welcome to Jiangchen University's Animal Charity Auction Night. Hearing this, my thoughts break and the auction officially begins. I compulsively come back to my seat and my seat is in the front row where Liu Ruyan is sitting on my left and the same arrogant Jikai is sitting on the right. Liu Ryan looks so beautiful tonight that it takes one's breath away. She's wearing a black dress. She has long hair tied in a bun which makes her look slim and has an auction catalog in her hand. A perfect smile on your face. But only I notice that his body is a little stiff. To which I gently ask, are you nervous? Hearing this, she looked at me. A momentary gleam comes into his eyes, and then she smiles with a smile. I have seen such scenes many times. You're the opposite. Don't let your feet go out of control after shaking. Although she looks strong, I can clearly see that the fingers of her hand tremble slightly. After this, the initial items of the auction come. Most of them are antiques and jewelry. Jack is very active. Again and again he picks up the board and invests crores of rupees and wins many items, and after winning every time he looks at me provoking. To which he speaks loudly, some people look classy from outside, but there is no money for a taxi in the pocket. And the people around him laugh at this. But I'm not reacting. I'm just waiting for that moment. After this, the host's voice becomes excited. Now we are going to present one of the most important items of today. The artwork was created by Liu Ryan, head of art at Jiangchen University. Upon hearing this, the red cloth is removed and the entire hall falls silent for a moment. And then suddenly there's a whirring sound. The painting does not have any flowers or abstract art but a realistic scene depicting a dark rainy night. In the yellow light of the street light, the shadows stretch long and a boy in a white shirt stands in front of an unknown girl completely drenched, protecting him and dripping blood from his left arm which spreads like red flowers, even if only the back is visible. The face is not clear but everyone present there immediately recognizes it is me. On which I keep looking at that painting and my heart is like someone has held it tightly. I never knew that's what I looked like in Liu Ryan's eyes that night. It's not just a painting. On which the face of Jikai immediately changes. He had been pursuing Liu Ryan for 3 years, but I have never been able to hold her hand and I become so important to her in just a few days. He then angrily picks up the board with 10 million and brushes his teeth, saying he will buy it and burn it. On which another voice comes that the artistic value of this painting is also very high and the reputation of the Liu family is also associated. Then Jikai speaks loudly and 50 million and stares at the whole hall as if challenging that no one should compete with him. Seeing this, the rest of the people slowly retreat because no one wants to take enmity with him. The host speaks 175 million first time, second time, and if no one else bothers, these paintings will become what they are. On which Liu Ryan is sitting down and her face becomes a little pale. She wanted to express her feelings through this painting, but if it goes into Jikai's hands and gets destroyed, it will all be over. She looks at me intuitively, but I'm sitting straight. My hands are completely numb and seeing that brings tears to his eyes. Maybe she was expecting something from me. But at the same moment when the host is about to drop the hammer, I raise my board, 350 million. I don't have a voice. But the entire silence reverberates like thunder in the hall. At which Liu Ruyan turns to me in shock and Jai Ka-yi looks at me as if he has seen a ghost. Are you crazy? He yells, do you have million? If you don't pay the money, you go straight to jail. I don't pay attention to him at all. I just keep looking at that painting kept on the stage with calm eyes. He is the one behind me. I have self-esteem. And most of all, I don't want anyone to crush Liu Ruyan's hard work. An angry RS2 Lok G immediately raises the price, to which I don't back down. 2003 Loxy cries. 310 I speak without changing the expression as if it is not money but just numbers, on which the whole hall starts making noise. Is this poor guy crazy? He is spending his life in jail. Is this the power of love? It's a little stupid, but it's still a little emotional. He becomes so angry that his whole body starts shivering. 3 lakh is not a small amount for him, and most importantly, it's his painting. Will he torture himself by buying it? But he can't lose because if the respect goes, everything will be over. On which he shouts, 4 lakh good chain. I can see where you are getting so much money from. Don't grumble in front of me when paying later. I get cold sweat on my hands. This amount combined with the earlier date comes to around 1 million and I feel like my soul is trembling. The phone is silent so far. There is no money transfer from Kim Chu. There are no notifications and this whole game is being played on my life. On which I once look at Liu Ruyan. She is looking at me with a very complex look. It's a weird feeling that I don't understand. After this, I pick up the board again. My voice is heavy but firm. 5 lakh. Hearing this, the entire room burst into laughter. Zike's mouth is left open and he finally throws the board in anger. Very good 5 lakh to buy a waste painting. Now let's see how you handle it. The guards keep an eye on it and do not run away. The host's voice trembles in excitement. 1 crore 75 locks first time, second time, third time sold. As soon as the sound of the hammer is heard, all my strength is lost and I fall on the chair. Everything's finished. Even if I sell myself, I can't repay this much money. After the party is over, I stand at the backstage. The hotel manager and 2 staff members stand in front of the machines, and my face is completely white. Mr. Gutchechin, the total amount is 1 crore 75 locks. Are you paying by check or credit card? The manager asks in a pout tone, but the dot is clearly visible in his eyes. I try to speak, but my throat goes dry, no sound. On which Jikai enjoys standing at the door with his friends, swipe or forget to bring the card, and everyone starts laughing. I am about to accept humiliation and am ready for legal punishment. And then suddenly the door opens. Lu Ruyan comes in and without looking at me takes out a black bank card from her bag and gives it to the manager. Pay for this. The manager is shocked by Miss Lu, to which she says calmly, I made this painting and it was my donation. Now I'm buying it myself. There's a problem. The manager immediately bends down and takes the card. There is no problem, at which Zike yells, this is cheating. How can seller pay for buyer? This man is a fraud. Liu Ruyan turns around and his eyes turn cold. You're wrong. Then she comes to me, holds my hand and stands close in a very natural way, claiming it openly. It's not a scam. This is the man that Liu Ryan has fucked. What is Rs 1 crore 75 lakh? If this entire hotel asks for it, I will buy it. Is there any problem? The entire hall is silent. Zike's face turns from green to white and he finally retreats. I'm standing right there. I feel the softness of his hand and my mind goes blank. His words just resonate. This is the man I've fucked. After the staff leaves, only the 2 of us are left in the room, to which she leaves my hand and her queen-like aura immediately disappears and a clear pen is seen on the face. It was Rs 1 crore 75 lakh. She holds my hand and looks at me. Gutchin, you're really going to blow money. You know how many bags come in so much money? I look at him and suddenly my tension disappears. And I don't know why I'm laughing. You laugh. She pinches me. It's a loan. You will have to pay with interest by working later. I nod my head in agreement. Okay, I will work for you all my life. On which she freezes for a moment and her cheeks become light red. And then he closes his eyes. Who said it's for life? You're talking to yourself. She then picks up the packed painting from the table and says in a low voice, let's leave me at home. Maybe it's raining outside. I silently walk behind him, on which the phone vibrates. Good job. The process was tedious, but I liked the result. Kim Chu's message comes, but this time I do not reply, and seeing Liu Ruyan's bag, for the first time I get the thought of rebellion. This time I am not standing for Kimu, I am standing only for him. On which it is raining heavily outside, as if the sky itself is making this night dramatic, and the entire Gyeongchang is covered in a white sheet of water. Liu Ryan's red sports car glows like lightning in that rain, but the lightning also sometimes extinguishes. When the car approaches the mountain road, the engine suddenly stops. Damn it, Liu Ruyan puts his hand on the steering wheel. The car had also broken down. The place is completely empty. There are no houses nearby either. This road is the only way to reach the rich area and no one is seen in this rain. I say rescue is called, but she shakes her head. There is no network here and rescue will also not come in such heavy rain, on which she sees the dark forest outside. Then she sees me, who is completely drenched, and says, a little further away my family has got a vacation. It's been empty for a long time, but maybe there's still electricity and hot water. Let's go there. So both of them run away, getting caught in heavy rain and storm. On which, in a very difficult situation, they enter a big villa of European style which is hidden inside the forest. As soon as he steps inside the door, the world suddenly goes quiet. Inside there is a feeling of a slight dampness, but the whole villa still looks quite luxurious. On which Leo Nyan comfortably goes and switches on the main switch, and suddenly the crystal chandelier shines. Warm yellow light removes the entire cold environment. She points out that there is a bathroom on the 2nd floor. The one on the left is for the name and the one on the right is for me. And there is a bathroom in the cupboard. She orders while dripping water from her wet clothes that go and take bath with hot water, or else there can be wound infection. After this, in about half an hour, the fireplace in the living room burns down and the flames continue to burn with a crackling sound. I come down wearing a loose white bothrow, on which Leo Nyan is already bathing and sitting on the carpet. She is dressed in a silk night dress and holds 2 wine glasses and a red wine bottle in her hand, on which she says while turning the glass a little, take a drink with her, and her eyes look a little dreamy in the dim light. I'm a little bit excited, and then I sit down in front of him. She explains that she got this wine from the wine cabinet and that it is a rare 1982 wine. She fills a glass for me and says that a sip of it is also worth millions, and today I am very lucky. I pick up a glass and take a sip. The test seems a little better, but its sweetness remains for a long time. Thunder is echoing outside and the rain continues to fall rapidly on the glass window. Inside, the warmth of the fireplace and the aroma of wine make the whole atmosphere cozy, on which such a private environment easily triggers emotions, and the person starts dropping his guard. After a few drinks, Liu Nguyen's cheeks turn light red and she no longer looks like the avant-garde lady, but more like a simple girl who wants to share her heart. She looks at me with a little bloodshot eye and asks why did I bid 1.75 billion at the auction today when I knew I couldn't afford one, on which my hand gets stuck on the glass because it's a very dangerous question. To tell the truth, it was Kim Chu's order, and to tell a lie, I had to save my respect. But seeing his clear eyes, I can neither lie nor do I want to tell him the harsh truth. I look at the wine below and say that in that painting I see myself very bravely, and I wanted to buy myself a person who can protect him, on which Liu Nguyen is shocked because he did not expect such an answer, and these simple words touch his heart. She thinks inside that maybe she is really falling and am I teasing her, but my eyes show complete cynicism. She then leans forward and asks if I know the real name of the painting. I try to step back instinctively, but because there is a sofa behind, I stop and say his name is Protector, as stated by the host. To which she laughs a little and makes circles while touching my chest with her finger and says that the name was fake. Her real name is Priya. Hearing this, I get completely stiff, and the question that comes to my mind is who is prey and who is hunter. Lunian enjoys seeing my reaction inside, and in a drunken stupor, she finally asks the question that has been on her mind for a long time. I have to answer honestly, he said. Otherwise she'll throw me out in the rain and then ask if she wasn't rich. If hospital care and money were anything to go by, would I have saved her that night? When I look at the burning reflection in her eyes and remember that even before I got Kim Chu's mission, at a university event, I had seen her practicing ballet in the corner of the stage, and she had been in my head ever since. I am giving a firm answer whether he is rich or not. If she is the one, I would always save her, on which she stops breathing because she has seen a lot of people and heard their fake things, but she can recognize the truth. There is no impurity in my eyes, on which a strong emotion arises inside him. After this, she could not control herself and called me an idiot and suddenly grabbed my collar and pulled me towards her side, on which my mind goes blank, and at that moment the loud ringtone of the phone breaks that atmosphere and the two are separated immediately as if there is an electric shock. Lion quickly picks up the phone and sees that the battery low warning is coming, on which he remembers that this phone is being used for Kim Chu identity, and if it is turned off, then everything can be exposed. She immediately becomes half sober and says she is going to the washroom and quickly goes upstairs. I touch my lips as if still feeling his warmth and speak softly, with just a little bit of regression and a little bit of relief. Leon, on the other hand, goes to the bathroom, ticks the door, takes a deep breath and tells himself that he was going to kiss her. She looks at herself in the mirror where her face is completely red and scolds herself that she came here to teach her but started losing control of herself. After this, she puts the phone on charge, and after a little work her playful nature awakens again. She thinks that if she is not able to kiss in real life, she will teach her online. On which she sends me a message from Kim Chu account that we are both in the same room, and if I touch Liu Nguyen she will break my hands. I just keep smiling helplessly while reading the message below, to which I immediately replied, "Boss, you're thinking too much, how can I do that?" After sending the message, I keep looking at that closed door on the second floor above, and to be honest, I don't have the courage, but a while ago I really wanted to kiss her. After that incomplete kiss on that rainy night, there is a strange silence between Liu Nguyen and me. From the outside, we both look like an official couple who is accepted by the entire college. Liu Nguyen no longer sits in that red luxury car, but gradually makes a habit of sitting behind my old repaired buckle. She holds a 7 ice cream in her hand and laughs like a normal carefree girl. I don't live like I used to. No longer just a poor guy eating dry bread, I often have a soft smile on my lips that I don't even notice myself. But the truth is that there is a dangerous time bomb hidden under this sweet layer that only the two of us know. I am afraid that the shadow named Kim Chu can come out any time and destroy everything. And Liu Nguyen is also afraid that my softness is because of that 175 billion debt or because of the silence of that rainy night. She doesn't understand what acting is and what real feeling is, and the deeper she goes, the more the fear of losing grows. After this, when this fear crosses the limit, the person starts taking crazy decisions. On Friday afternoons, Liu Nguyen sits in the corner of the cafe and watches me outside the window helping classmates. She thinks it can't go on like this anymore. She feels that she is losing control of this game that she herself started, and now the same game is dragging her in. She misses my warmth, my accurred care, and wonders how I would react if one day I found out Kim Chu was there and it was all a prank. This fear grips his heart like a cold snake, on which she decides that now it has to end. After this, she makes a plan to give me the final choice from Kim Chu's identity. If I can hurt him for money, I don't deserve his love. And if I don't hurt her by breaking the contract, she will tell the truth and apologize to me. It is a hug gamble in which stake is his first love. She takes out a backup phone and types a message that can destroy everything. Here I shift the books and reach the admin building. Just then the phone vibrates in the pocket, on which my smile freezes instantly. For several days Kim Chu was silent and I thought maybe he had forgotten me. But I was wrong, because the devil never goes away. The message comes that you are living a very comfortable life today. Cawthon, you seem to have forgotten who you are, to which I go into an empty stairway, take a deep breath and reply, boss, I didn't forget, I'm going according to plan. He responds instantly. Plan, your plan is to fall in love with her. I told you to make her fall and then leave, not to get involved yourself. He then says that he is bored with this game and now wants to drop the curtain. He reveals that next Wednesday is Lu Nyan's 22nd birthday, and his family has a party in the largest banquet hall, where the elite of the entire city and its parents will also be there, and this is the perfect opportunity. My heart tightens and a cold wave runs from the feet to the head. And I ask, what do you want me to do? To which he says that while cutting the cake in front of the media cameras in front of everyone, I have to hit the cake on his face and tell everyone that I have never loved him. I just went to her for money, and I find rich girls like her fake and disgusting and then throw away all the gifts she gave me and leave. That would be the perfect solution, he says. I keep looking at those words on the screen. Every word seems like a knife. It's not just social distancing. This is to crush his dignity and feelings in front of everyone. To which I immediately reply that I can't do it, but my fingers are constantly trembling. He laughingly answers if I think I will be free after paying the date, and reminds me that there is a 10 times penalty clause in the contract. Then he mentions my grandmother's health, that $1.5 billion deposit is needed for the next week's surgery. Otherwise, they will not be admitted to the hospital. Hearing this, I tuck myself against the wall as if I'm holding my breath. This is a direct threat. I reply that I will return the money anyway. Even if the kidney has to be sold, it cannot work because Lanu Yen is innocent. He's never done anything wrong, to which he says in a cold tone that it is all charity. Like somebody gives a coin to a beggar and asks if I am considering it as love. And he calls me. He then gives a final warning that if I don't follow his order by 8:00 p.m. Wednesday night, he will withdraw the funding and file a fraud case against me and send me to jail for life. He finally says, choose your love or your grandmother's life. The screen gradually fades, on which I slide down the wall and sit on the ground and hold my hair. Sunlight shines on the staircase outside, birds are chirping, but in my world winter has begun. In the days that follow, I live like a soulless body. On which Leo Nyan notices my condition and asks what happened. Why are you so lost for 2 days? I suddenly come into reality and see her beautiful face. The concern that appears in her eyes is very real and clear. And if I have to insult such a girl in front of everyone on her birthday, I would like to finish myself better than that. I forcefully smile and say nothing. I am a little teared just because of exam preparation. To which Lanyan calls me an idiot and takes out a box of vitamins from her bag and extends it towards me, and also gives a golden invitation card. She casually pretends to read a book, but her ears are already red, and gently says that next Wednesday is her birthday, and even though she does not like such events, her parents are inside and I must come because I am her dance partner. I look at that red invitation card, and my hands under the table become clenched fists. Nails stick to the skin. Still, I gently say, okay, I will come. On which she has absolutely no idea how much desperation is hidden behind my this okay, and she happily kicks my leg lightly and reminds me that I have to wear the same swan suit because that is our battle outfit. Seeing her bright smile, my heart is being cut with a saw. That night, I don't go back to the hostel but cycle like a madman through the streets of Jiang City. I go to every bank. I ask at every part-time job agency. I even reach out to illegal money lenders. But there are answers everywhere. Students don't have that. You can get a maximum of 15 to 20 lakhs, not more than that. On which reality hits me like a cold wall and my head feels like exploding because I need a whole 1 billion, not millions. Late at night, I sit on the riverside bench looking at the black water and Kim Chu's countdown message in the phone. Only 3 days are left. I take out the wallet which has the photo of the grandmother, and as soon as I close my eyes, the incomplete case with Liu Nguyen comes out. On one side there is love and on the other there is hatred. On which I look at the sky and think why this is happening to me. And then suddenly the phone rings. A call comes from the Sikh hospital, and it is heard that my grandmother has suffered acute heart failure and has to be operated immediately or else it will be too late. As soon as I heard that, my world fell apart. The hospital corridor looks as cold and scary as ever. There is a red light outside the emergency room and the doctor tells me to get the critical condition report and the payment slip saying that the surgery has to be done immediately. 300 million deposits will have to be paid now and 200 million more will be required. I am holding on to that bill. There are some papers, but their weight seems to be thousands of kilos, and I have only 20 lakhs in my account, which is nothing. I stand in front of the billing counter, and the world seems to be moving while looking at the red display screen. The sound in the ears is deafening. Then the phone vibrates again, and the message comes that my grandmother is in the ICU and sarcastically asks if I can arrange 300 million, to which my eyes go red and I immediately call back, and as soon as I connect, I shout like a beast, "Is he crazy? My grandma was fine. How did it all happen so suddenly?" Lu Nuyen, on the other hand, is shocked because she was actually just tracking the location and got info from the hospital, but she didn't do anything. She says angrily, "Am I crazy? Would she want to kill my grandmother?" And then says in a cold tone that it's all fat and now I have to suck. She clearly says that the money is ready. All I have to do is follow his plan at the Wednesday night party and 300 million will be transferred immediately. To which I angrily refuse and say that I will earn money myself. You can do anything, but you can't hurt anyone. She asks in a mocking tone how I will earn money by doing labor, delivering or selling blood, and says only she can save my grandmother. Then she says for the last time that just throw the cake on the face and my grandmother will be saved. What an easy deal, but I shout out loud that I won't do it and cut the call. After this, I run out of the hospital and stand drenched in the heavy rain. The cold water soaks the whole body and my last remaining sanity also begins to fade away. I think that I can't ruin Liu Nguyen's life by listening to Kim Chu, but I can't see my grandmother dying, and I decide that if I have to steal, rob, or risk my life, I have to bring money. I run like crazy in the rain. I am exploring all options. And suddenly I remember a man at the construction site. I dial his number with trembling hands and say as soon as the call is connected that I want 5 billion tonight itself. On the other hand, there is silence for a while. Then he laughs and says that this is not a small amount and the legal way is not possible for the student, but it is a risky job. He explains that an experimental drug trial is underway that has a risk of organ failure and will get 700 million for once. I ask without hesitation if there is another way because even 700 million is less. To which he says a little shocked that another option is a death match in the underground fight arena, where if I survive 3 rounds, I will get 300 million. But the opponent is a retired Muay Thai fighter who has put someone in a coma before. It's like putting your life on the line, but I don't have a clue, on which I speak non-stop. I will do both. Fight today and drug trial tomorrow. He is shocked to hear this and says you have gone mad.